Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Jeffrey Epstein Show. I'm your host, Bobbycapucci, and this is a morning update. What's up, everybody? So this morning we're going to talk about our good friend, the moron Prince, Prince Andrew. Look, could this guy be any more deceitful at this point? For a man who is so honorable, we sure aren't seeing much honor out of him. You know, he said he was going to talk to the FBI. Then they reach out to him and mum's the word. Then he comes out and says he's angry and bewildered because, nobody's reached out to him. Well, the FBI disagrees with that. So we have Prince Andrew, who is obviously a linchpin in this case, somebody who knows a lot more than they're saying, and somebody who, if you believe Virginia Roberts, and I certainly do, somebody who is involved in a much more devious manner than just enabling. Prince Andrew is the kind of guy that has never, ever been told no in his whole entire life, from the time he was a child to the time he was an adult. All he did was get away with things his whole entire life. And now that his chickens are coming home to roost and the full weight of public scrutiny has been tossed upon him, he doesn't know how to react. He doesn't know what he should do. And that's like I said, folks, if any of these people ever get into the interrogation room with true interrogators, they will roll over on each other so quickly it will not even be funny. And it's just fact. Do you really think that these people have the wherewithal to stand up to true interrogations the way somebody like El Chapo would have, or, these cartel members or mafioso, or, just the general street thugs, right? These people all end up ratting. Very few people hold to the old code of not saying anything, etc., etc. So if you think these people who are the most self-serving, arrogant sons of bitches in the history of the world, maybe, if you think these people are going to go down without a fight, they're going to go down meekly and not take anybody with them, you have not been paying attention. So that leads us into our article today. And the article is from The Sun. The headline, Prince Andrew, the Epstein sleaze will not go away because you stay stum. Stum means quiet, so they tried to get cute with their words. All right, so on to the article. It's a Mexican standoff, but amid all the bluster and blame, there are damaged women who want and need justice. How many times have I said that? Let's make sure that as much as we get fired up and as much as we want to, blast people, but we have to remember that these are real people who suffered this abuse. These aren't just names on in a newspaper, right? They aren't just throwaway humans. These are real people that had dreams and aspirations, and those dreams and aspirations were cut short and crushed by people like Prince Andrew. And for this man to continue to sit back and not come forward while he has daughters who are young girls, I mean, think about it. Put yourself in their shoes, Prince. Put yourself in the shoes of these victims if you can, in these survivors if you can. But you won't, because you could never, ever step out of your arrogant world to have empathy for anybody else. That is just so foreign to someone like this guy, this Prince Andrew, that he doesn't even know what it means. You could understand if there was reluctance on the part of Prince Andrew at the prospect of being grilled by U.S. law enforcement. Yeah, no shit, he's guilty. Of course there's going to be, reluctance on his part. If he has any sort of legal advice being given to him by anyone who's competent, well, a guy like Andrew should not be talking to the FBI. With that said, he should be talking to the FBI. As we all know, he made a right ass of himself when he was interviewed for Newsnight. So imagine the potential for total self-destruction under the forensic questioning of FBI agents about his friendship and involvement with convicted pedophile Jeffrey Epstein. Exactly. Imagine you have seasoned agents. Now, we're talking about case agents here, folks. We're not talking about, the higher-ups. We're not talking about the corrupt bureaucrats. We're talking about the case agents that actually do the hard work. They can pile the information and they compile the evidence, and then they kick it up the chain. And then that's where things start to get dicey, right? They kick it up the chain, and then their superiors kill it for whatever devious ass reason they have. And they never give their subordinates a reason why. They just say, no, this isn't going anywhere, this isn't prosecutable, etc., etc. And that has to stop. That has to stop. These unelected bureaucrats that basically control the whole world, they need to be reined in. They certainly need to be reined in. And honestly, we don't even know half of them. All right? They're just these people that have had these jobs in these shadowy ass offices for like 25 years, and all they've done is bring pain and destruction down upon the world. It's unbelievable, honestly, how these people keep their jobs. How does anyone who was around during 9/11 in an intelligence position still have a job in an intelligence position? It's just unbelievable to me that these people, these holdovers, have been just ensconced inside of these organizations for so many years. After he was put on the spot by the BBC's Emily Maitlis, Andrew seemed to be the only person in the country not cringing with embarrassment in the aftermath of that disastrous PR car crash. Yeah, look, everybody I've talked to from the United Kingdom, from England, who has sent me emails and I've discussed this with, has all been of the same mind, that Prince Andrew is an absolute and complete embarrassment, and that he has no place in British society going forward. And that's great news to hear, because at the end of the day, if these people escape justice, then they have to be destroyed in society, right? There can be no place for these people in society. Who would want to hang out with somebody like this, right? And that's got to be the goal of the media. The media has to keep on the full court press, and they have to let the public know of what these people were up to. That way, the public can make the decision for themselves if they want to hold these people up on pedestals or not. Because let me tell you what. Just take a look with Harvey Weinstein and what's coming out in that case. And if he was never brought to account, if he was never made to answer questions, then his disgustingness would have kept on forever until he died. That's how these people act. They don't just stop. This isn't something that they can stop. This is how they're wired, folks. These people are sick. He actually believed the interview had gone rather well, which shows a breathtaking lack of self-awareness combined with jaw-dropping stupidity. Well, we all know how I feel about Prince Andrew. We all know that I think he's the most ridiculously stupid prince in the history of England, maybe. This guy he makes George Bush look like an absolute Rhodes Scholar. Beyond parody. His advisors must be panicking, as they are well aware he could damn himself either by mistake or because he really has something to hide. Remember, he genuinely thought all of us oiks would tug our forecloaks and meekly accept the bizarre no-sweat alibi. That's perfectly put. I mean, honestly, that's perfectly stated. I couldn't state that any better. He really thought we were all stupid. Because that's how he grew up, folks. It wasn't just a make-pretend thing, oh, they're all stupid. No, he truly believes that. Him and his elite pals believe we're just pawns on the chessboard to move in front of the king or the queen to protect them at any given point. And this guy is certainly the epitome of that. This royal clown, this buffoon, this bumbling idiot, Prince Andrew, really thought that his alibi of the no sweating was going to pass the test, thought it was going to cut mustard, thought nobody was going to attack that and say, what are you, absolutely ridiculous? Look, at the end of the day, how dare you? How dare you use that as your excuse, sir? Here's an idea. Why don't you show us the police logs? Let's see where you were at that night. Can we see your whereabouts, please? And I don't want to hear about the pizza shop in Woking. All right? That was in the daytime. You weren't at the pizza shop all day and all night. You guys didn't have a sleepover there. Where were you after you came home, sir? Then there was the vow that he couldn't possibly have had sexual relations with a teenager because he was at Pizza Express in Woking with his daughters. It was a Monty Python-esque image and beyond parody. Andrew has always denied any wrongdoing, and all of the claims by Virginia Roberts, who maintains he had sex with her when she was just 17 years old at the London home of Ghislaine Maxwell, who allegedly procured young women for Epstein. Oh, and not only that, she was a co-conspirator. She also helped abuse them. She also threatened them. She also put everything into motion and was the brains behind Epstein's brood. This may have been a world of vast wealth and private jets, but the reality was seedy, sordid, and shameful, and young women like Virginia still carry the mental scars. Yeah, that's understated, for sure. Mental scars. Talk about the whole entire world on their shoulders, it would seem like, for them. I mean, and for Prince Andrew to sit here and thumb his nose at these survivors of Jeffrey Epstein's reign of terror is just sickening, and it's maddening, honestly. It makes my blood boil. Andrew was, whether he realized it or not, part of that wicked world because of his association with Epstein. He surely now has to cooperate with the U.S. authorities and either clear his name or face the consequences. 100%. You hear that? Let's scream that from every mountaintop. Let's go up to Mount Everest and scream that down, because that's it. You have to answer these questions or you're going to face consequences. There's no middle ground anymore with people like this. This week I spoke to the formidable New York lawyer Lisa Bloom. Her and her mom are bad for this case. All right, honestly, I have to say it. I can't say it enough. I can't stress it enough. Gloria Allred and Lisa Bloom are just bad for this case. It's a bad look. It's bad optics. And shouldn't Lisa Bloom be busy with Harvey Weinstein? Why is she trying to attach herself to Jeffrey Epstein's victims at this point? Lisa Bloom and Gloria Allred are not good for this case, in my opinion. One of them claims she saw Andrew with Virginia in a nightclub on the day he claims he was eating pizza with his daughters. She told me that Andrew has to speak out as part of the ongoing Epstein sex trafficking inquiry, and that if he is innocent, as he says he is, then there's no reason why he would not want to go and talk and exonerate himself. Agreed. If he has nothing to hide, then he has nothing to fear. Andrew was probably the one person in the royal family who was secretly hugging himself with glee when the whole Meghan and Harry furor blew up in his family's face. That's telling, folks, right? You're such a scumbag that you're happy that your nephew and his wife decided to split the royal family, decided to cut out. You're happy because it took some of the spotlight off of you. Well, here's an idea. Don't be a scumbag, all right? Don't hang out with people like Epstein. Don't make excuses for it. Don't say you're honorable. Don't fly across the world to go and break up with your buddy, okay? And then you won't have to worry about the other people in your family screwing up so the spotlight is off you, you incredibly inept, bumbling moron. His nephew's desire for a get-out-of-jail-free card took the heat off Andrew, but for all the noise that it generated, Harry and Meghan's exit to a new life in Canada is little more than a blip when compared with the sort of serious allegations being hurled at Andrew. Again, leave Harry and Meghan alone, all right? I don't care about the royals, the monarchy. If these two decided they wanted to split and move to Canada or Timbuktu or Pluto, for that matter, well, it's nobody's business, okay? Who cares? Enough with Harry and Meghan. Let them go and live their lives and focus on the real problem, which is Prince Andrew and his ties to Jeffrey Epstein. That's what needs to be focused on. While the alleged victims, survivors of Epstein, have breath in their bodies, this is not going away, and Andrew needs to help them. No matter who is to blame for the cause of this current stalemate, it has to be resolved. Let's read that again. While the alleged victims of Epstein have breath in their bodies, this is not going away, and Andrew needs to help them. 100%. This is not going away. We will not let it go away. We will continue to bring it to the people. We'll bypass the media. We're going to bypass the politicians. We're going to bypass calling our congressmen because they don't care, folks, all right? It's up to us. It is up to us to keep this story going. It is up to us to be fired up about it. And it is up to us to try and advance the ball. Because at the end of the day, we have made progress, folks. Look at the list I read last night of the billionaires who have been affected by this, who have had to step back from their companies, had to step back from, being huge in their social scenes. There's movement here. We're in a tough game. We're definitely in a punch fight here. But it comes down to this. What do you want to do? Are you willing to take the shots and keep backing up? Or are you going to bite down on your mouthpiece, stand in the middle of the ring, and start throwing back at these sick sons of bitches? And that's what I've chosen to do. And that's why we're here every single day firing volley after volley at these scumbags and bringing the truth and the news directly to you, the people. That is where the power is, folks. Don't let these sons of bitches lie anymore. The power does not reside in them. The power resides in us. It's just, what matters now is how we wield that power. And in my opinion, it's time for the full court press to even go into overdrive, because these sons of bitches, their day has to come. And their day is certainly on the horizon. If you'd like to contact me, you can do that at bobbycapucci@protonmail.com. That's BOBBYCAPUCCI@protonmail.com. And if you would like to help support the podcast, you can do that by clicking on the GoFundMe link inside of the description box. All right, everybody, enjoy your Saturday. I'll be back later on with some more. Talk to you all later.